Good afternoon. This is John Joseph Xavier Cihon, and I'm coming at you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the situation going on with Eric Clapton and how much of the media has been completely misleading you about it. Before I do that, if you haven't yet done so, please slap the like button and the subscribe. You'll get notified about content like this in the future as I release it, and it does really help. It's a small thing, and I really do appreciate it. As well, there are links to leave a tip if you enjoy this content and are able to do so. So with that out of the way, let's get to it. A lot of you have probably heard in the news about a lawsuit where Eric Clapton sued a 55-year-old German widow for listing a bootleg CD of his on eBay. Now that is not untrue, but you're not getting the whole story, and what you are getting is very misleading. The articles I've seen give one the impression that Clapton himself was sitting there and decided to sue this woman over the $11 CD. What actually happened, and this is normal with a lot of bigger artists, they're the people who administer the rights to their music go through eBay, and they send cease and desist letters or takedown notices for bootleg CDs. Eric Clapton is not the only artist who does this. You usually don't see it in the news, so you don't realize how common it is. And typically, once that cease and desist letter is received, if the person who started the auction ceases and desists, that's the end of it. This woman didn't. This woman contacted the legal team, told them to take her to court, told them she wasn't going to stop. She hired a lawyer. The judge in the case asked her to withdraw the case because this was a baseless case on her part. She didn't own the copyright, and copyright is a pretty black and white instance in this. It's a pretty black and white thing in this case. So she ignored the letter, unlike what a person who isn't crazy would have done. She didn't let it go. She took it to court. She hired an attorney, and she ignored the advice of the judge to withdraw the case. So the only thing that could happen happened. The court found against her, and she was required to pay the legal cost. She brought a baseless lawsuit. That's the way the law works. And you may have seen threats of larger penalties. I believe it was about $4,000. And there was a larger number that was in some of the articles, but this larger amount was only to be assessed against her if and only if she attempted to sell the merchandise she didn't own the copyright to. She was threatened with jail time as well, but again, that was if and only if she did not withdraw the sale of the CD. So, one way to say this is Eric Clapton's team sued her over the sale of an $11 CD. Another way to say this is a woman who was probably getting some very bad advice from a sleazy attorney and possibly not in a good mental state herself, didn't withdraw the sale for an $11 attorney and instead took it to court. But most of the media I've seen about this gives one the impression that Eric Clapton himself personally singled this woman out. He had no knowledge of this case, which is normal, and sued this poor little widow. Now, the fact of the matter is, once he became aware of it and the negative publicity, he dropped the penalty against her. So there is no penalty unless she's foolish enough to try to sell the CD again. And she might be. The lawyer she hired, who is really the villain in this piece, has advised her to appeal, which is insane. Absolutely insane. But the long and short of it is, Eric Clapton's legal team and the people who control the rights to his music did exactly what every major artist, a legal team, would do. This is normal. Typically, they're not targeting individuals, but there are organizations that sell bootleg CDs, and it is in their interest to enforce their rights to get those out of the market. So you may ask yourself, why have you seen such a one-sided and misleading analysis of this case? What is going on? Why is Eric Clapton being turned into a bad guy for what is essentially an administrative function that happens all the time? Why are we highlighting this and turning him to the bad guy? Well, my answer to that is quite simple. He had a negative experience after being vaccinated, and he spoke about his negative experience and said that he wished he was never vaccinated. As well, he's been an outspoken critic of the lockdowns. So what I believe is that this spin, this absolute fake news of a story and the way this has been covered, and it's designed to make you hate him. It's designed to make you think he's a jerk. And this is because he spoke up. Now, he had the AstraZeneca vaccine. That vaccine has been pulled from the market or limited in use in many countries because of a higher instance of side effects with it. It has never been authorized in the United States. And no one, as far as I know, has made the claim that Eric Clapton did not experience the side effects that he said. No one's saying he's lying about experiencing the side effects. So I find it very disturbing that someone comes under attack for honestly reporting their own personal experiences with a pharmaceutical product. Regardless of how you feel about vaccines, and this particular vaccine in general, this sets a terrible precedent. I mean, this is a vaccine that has known higher incidence of side effects. And he spoke about it, and he is snubbed, he is torn down in the media for simply speaking about his personal experiences. He has not been a terribly political artist most of his career. And this is obviously an effort to smear him. And even if you think he shouldn't have spoken about it, even if you think he deserves to be canceled, it should be very distressing that the media has coalesced around this extremely misleading story whose only purpose is to smear someone who goes against the narrative. You don't have to agree with Eric Clapton to be concerned about this. And that's really all I've got. That's my take on the situation in a nutshell. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions or thoughts that you would like to share, please do so in the comments. Again, slap the like button, subscribe, leave a tip if you're able to do so. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.